We begin the study of the Hebrew relative pronoun, asher, which translates who, which, or that. The relative pronouns in English are who, that, and which. A relative pronoun introduces a relative clause that modifies a noun. A relative clause is composed of the relative pronoun and the clause that it introduces. Consider this example in English. In the sentence, happy is the person who studies Hebrew, the clause who studies Hebrew is a relative clause modifying the noun person. In this example, who is the relative pronoun. The form of the relative pronoun in Hebrew, asher, does not change in order to indicate the gender or number of its antecedent. It may appear with or without makef, as you will see in the examples. When functioning as a relative pronoun introducing a relative clause, it immediately follows the noun it is modifying. Look at the first example. Ha'etz asher bothok hagan. This construction translates the tree that is in the middle of the garden. We have highlighted in red the relative pronoun asher. Notice that it immediately follows the noun it is modifying. The second example reads in Hebrew, Heharim asher tachat hashamayim. The construction translates the mountains that are under the heavens. In this example, notice that asher is connected with tachat by a makef. But notice also that it immediately follows the noun that it is modifying. Our last example is Hamelech asher bachartem, the king whom you chose. Again, the relative is highlighted in red, and it follows Hamelech. That is expected syntax. In handout 8I, 8.9 in the grammar, we briefly study the interrogative pronouns me, which translates who, and ma, which translates what. The interrogative pronoun me occurs 424 times in the Hebrew Bible, and ma occurs 571 times. So this is fairly high-frequency vocabulary. In Hebrew, interrogative pronouns are used to ask a question. These two pronouns, me and ma, do not inflect for gender or number, and they may appear with or without makef. The vocalization of me does not change. The spelling of ma, however, may change slightly. In addition to ma with comets under the mem, this interrogative is also spelled meh with pathak under the mem and meh with segol under the mem. When spelled as meh with pathak, a dagesh forte will usually appear in the first consonant of the following word, unless that consonant is a guttural. It is not essential to know what causes these spelling changes. It is easier simply to be aware of the three spelling options. And once again, they are ma with comets, meh with pathak, and meh with segol. The following examples in handout 8I illustrate how these interrogative pronouns are used. Look at the first example. Meh shemo. The interrogative pronoun is highlighted in red, as it will be in all of these examples. This construction translates, what is his name? Shemo is the noun for name with a third masculine singular pronominal suffix. What is his name? Note that we have supplied a present tense of the verb to be. Second example pronounces in Hebrew, me asita. Me is the interrogative pronoun. What have you done? In later lessons, you will learn that asita is a cal-perfect verb, second masculine singular. Note that the interrogative is highlighted in red. The third example, ma hachalom hazeh. What is this dream? Study the last three examples. They are further illustrations of the use of interrogative pronouns, but the last three examples are with the interrogative pronoun me, which translates who. In handout 8J, 8.10 in the grammar, we studied the interrogative particle, which is spelled hey followed by a hatef petach. This particle is prefixed to the first word of a sentence, thereby creating a question. You must understand that in Hebrew, questions are not created with punctuation as in English. Hebrew does not have a question mark as we do in English. Rather, interrogative clauses, that is, sentences asking a question, are created with the use of certain interrogative pronouns, such as me or ma, or with the interrogative particle, hey, with a hatef petach. Again, the interrogative particle is prefixed to the first word of the sentence. Compare the following examples. The first example is a statement. The second example is a question, because the interrogative particle has been prefixed to the first word of the sentence. Look at the first Hebrew example. Shalach hamelech eth hanavi. This translates, the king sent the prophet. The verb is shalach. The definite direct object is hanavi. Note the definite direct object marker, eth. In the second example, hushalach hamelech eth hanavi, we have prefixed the interrogative particle to the sentence. With this particle prefixed, we have now created a question. Not, the king sent the prophet, as in the first example, but now, did the king send the prophet? This is a typical construction in Hebrew using the interrogative particle. The spelling of the particle is quite straightforward. Three very simple rules. Number one, it is spelled hey with hatef petach before most consonants. Secondly, it may be spelled with a petach before gutturals or any consonant with shawah. And thirdly, the interrogative particle, the hey, may appear with segol before gutturals that have a comets beneath them.